goal. Some of their movement and their passing I thought was excellent, and they didn't have that much possession. Man City dominated possession, but they made more of it. So I was very impressed with what Hansi Flick was getting from them, but also what they've learnt through the academy. And they were far more positive than we've seen Barcelona for a couple of seasons.
Meanwhile, Shaq, of course, there's been a lot of rumours over recent weeks. Nico Williams, one of the stars of the Euros, to make a move from Athletic Club to Barcelona. Suggestions now, that isn't going to happen. How big a blow is that for Barcelona going forward?
I'm sorry. Once I saw this move kind of, or the suggestion that it's collapsing, you can't help but think back to Xavi. Xavi's sacked because he speaks the truth about Barcelona's position. And then it's, well, no, we're not. We're in a really strong position. We'll sign all these players. Oh, look, Xavi was right all along. I mean, it's... And I know we've been having this same discussion about Barcelona and their finances and everything about it for some time, but it just beggars belief that we're still having this same conversation because the ownership is still kind of feeding us the same raw meat and expecting everybody to bite. It's a blow. It's a blow from a publicity perspective. It's a blow from a player personal perspective. At 60 million for Nico Williams, given the sum that he just had, I thought that was an absolute bargain. And then you're trying to counter what Real Madrid did, not to suggest that Nico Williams is Kylian Mbappe or the equivalent of, but you want some good news if you're a Barcelona fan. And this just feels like another punch in the face.
Right.
That just be honest with us. If I'm a Barcelona fan, be honest with us. Tell us where we are. Tell us what the long-term plan is. We'll kind of strap ourselves in for the disappointments of the next 2 or 3 seasons with the understanding that we'll be competing head-to-head with Real Madrid soon enough. But because of this kind of want to be seen to keep up, Barcelona effectively keeping themselves back in every single regard. And for me, it's just... Again, as a neutral, it's just like, well, here we go yet again. As a Barcelona fan, I can only imagine how frustrating.
But there are reinforcements there. You've still got someone like Rafinha up there who can play in that position. So as much as it's a punch in the face, it's not necessarily a knockout blow, because when you look at what Barcelona need, maybe it isn't some more reinforcements in the attacking third.
Yeah, I think last year they didn't retain the title because they couldn't score goals. It really was more about letting too many in. I think Ali said it last night, 24 goals more than the previous season. I mean, that tells you where all the points disappeared from. So from that point of view, not getting Nico Williams isn't as big a blow. But for me, the real problem is you can't keep doing this with your fans and keep telling
He's out for up to 2 months, apparently, after fracturing a bone in his foot, of course, in that pre-season friendly earlier this week. A lot of hopes about the youngster coming in and really solidifying a place in the back four for Manchester United. But once again, it looks like someone like Harry Maguire is going to have to come in. Lautaro Martinez, of course, is still away after Copa America duty. A huge blow, Robbo, because pressure is on Ten Hag. Obviously, despite the fact he's got that respite after winning the FA Cup, all eyes are on him for the first few games of the season and what sort of Manchester United will turn up. And obviously, this is a real dent in that momentum.
It certainly is. If you buy 2 players and one of them gets an injury that's going to keep him out for 2 months, it's a blow to any manager. And the one area where they've had slight problems or big problems has been at centre-half, and he's wanted to change that. It might mean that he has to go and get another one, which there was talk about De Ligt going there at one point. He wanted to change the whole centre-back partnership. But it looks as though he's going to have to stick with the ones that he's got at the moment, and he's going to have to get the best out of them. And that's the problem that Ten Hag has had. He was lucky that Maguire stuck with it and didn't take it out on Ten Hag and sulk too much, because when Maguire came back in the side, he did OK. So Eric Ten Hag's going to have to go back to that back four, and he's going to have to make sure that they work hard in pre-season and they put in some sort of performance. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble again.
If you're Brantwaite, St. John, you're on the phone, aren't you, Stevie?
Well, if they were even thinking about it, then they'd really have to be serious about it now. I got to say, I feel bad for Yoro himself.
Of course.
I mean, can you imagine being, 18?
Yeah.
And you're going to be starting the season for Manchester United, and then just bang, just one challenge or whatever it was that made him get injured, and all of a sudden he's sitting on his backside. Absolute disaster. But you know what? It happens in football. It happens to
Yeah.
all coaches. Unfortunately, it couldn't have happened at a worse time for Ten Hag. As you said, he is under some pressure somewhat, and the worst thing that he wants is to get off to a bad start. And when you lose one of your big signings, then that's just it's just a shocker.
That's it, Shaq. And there's no asterisks on the Premier League table if you start badly and don't pick up the points. And people will not forgive the fact that, you know, OK, well, he's injured. The fact is you haven't been able to sort out the mess from last season, and it's shown once again.
Correct. And listen, and while, yes, Eric Ten Hag can boast of the FA Cup last season, and probably the reason why he's still manager of Manchester United, for much of last season it was all about the injury crisis, which supposedly was supposed to be addressed this summer. Then all of a sudden, kind of given Manchester United's own position financially, you make this investment in a Euro, and he pulls up with the same fate. And you can't just, as bad as the injury may be, or the injury list may be, Eric Ten Hag can't go back to that excuse, because he relied on it for so long last season. And sadly, that's just the position that Ten Hag is in. Where you go from here, I'm not sure if you're Eric Ten Hag. For Yoro, I'm with Steve. As a young lad, you want to start the season, and we always talk about the importance of a pre-season, and not just for your own physical fitness, but for fitting in with in this instance certainly a new team. And now this happened. This upends that. 2 months away is a long time. Season's going. All of a sudden, you have to play yourself back into fitness and hope to have some kind of an impact. It's a huge blow for the young man.